Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's fourth video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's fourth video. So day 10 will take us around the 20th of April and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the XHGFS and ECM ensembles. But around a couple of weeks, going to have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of video for the next 4 weeks, which will take us into May, of course. The first video released today was our very short 7 AM upload forecast, so that runs a couple of minutes, and have a look at that one. It's looking at weather in detail for the next 2 or 3 days. We also released the ECM 42-day forecast, 6 weeks forecast with the ECM extended, and also weekend forecast as well. Check out all of today's videos if you would like to do that. I think we might update Snowwatch tonight. It's probably the latest Snowwatch we've ever done, but there is a risk of a little bit of snow coming up tomorrow. Also today as well, covered by weekend forecast, but also tomorrow. So I think we'll have one more look at Snowwatch for you this evening. Right, so let's go on with the 10 to 14 day above. So we can start off with Central England temperature. So the CET is currently sitting at 6.0. That's an anomaly of half a degree below average, provisional to yesterday, the 9th of April. So for the first 10 days of April, we're going to be below average. That's going to fall further over the next few days. It's still cold by day, and we're going to have more cold nights to come, so that's going to drop down into the 5s in the coming days. A cold first half to April. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We've got Great Malvern today. This is another suggested location for this part of the video. If you'd like to have your local town or city featured within this part of the video, then please let us know through the comments. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Great Malvern. We're starting off substantially colder than average at the moment, well below the 30-year average, and generally staying below average for the next week. Probably dates on the bottom of the chart. So, yeah, it's not until we get to around a week's time, something like that, but we begin to get parity with the 30-year average, and then possibly go a little bit above average into the last week to 10 days or so of April. But even then, there is quite a bit of scattering. Some of these ensemble members are keeping things pretty cold, even into the last week of the month. But I think we do see a clear evidence of a warming trend here. So it looks like spring is coming, but we have got a little bit of a wait for it, I think. Precipitation-wise, there's quite a bit of precipitation to come, actually, over the next few days. Quite showery. And, of course, starting off cold, so some of that showery weather could be wintry. Later on, probably going into a little bit of a drying trend as we move into the final 10 days or so of the month. Although, right at the very end here, which into the last week of April, actually, maybe a little bit more unsettled by then. But I think for a while, sort of around the 16th, let's say, to around the 21st of April, this period here, we may have something of a drier trend as things are getting milder. So high pressure probably going to settle things down for a while and start to turn us milder in around a week's time. Temperature anomalies from the 10th to the 18th of April going to be below average, not just for the UK, but for most parts of Europe, below average temperatures coming up. Rather dry as well from the 10th through to the 18th of April, but precipitation anomaly is drier than average. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that the northerlies continue, so it remains cold. Let's drag this down, and you'll be able to see that still the air is originating from the Arctic, plunging southwards through the Norwegian Sea and into western parts of Europe. So the cold weather goes on. Right, so this is how UK Met is looking for Tuesday. High pressure will be building across the country on Tuesday, bringing lots of dry and fine weather with it. As we go through into Wednesday, Thursday, and indeed Friday, high pressure will be in control. This is gradually going to start to lift the temperature up by day. So I think we will see a recovery in temperature from a cold start to week. We will have a temperature recovery next week, but by night probably still some quite cold nights. I'm not as cold as it is this weekend with damaging frost, but nevertheless I think we will still have some frost by night even into the second half of the week under this area of high pressure. But with the April sunshine, we should start to see temperatures lifting up by day. That's how the UK Met looks as far as we go for UK Met is to Friday 16th of April. Let's go further out with the GFS 6 then. So here we go. Then high pressure is dominating the weather on Tuesday, bringing lots of dry weather with it. This high pressure will carry on in control of the weather through next week. May pick up a bit of an easterly wind down in the south, which might drag in more cloud few showers there, but otherwise the high pressure dominates, so we will have a lot of dry and fine weather to come. Moving up towards day 10, again this high pressure dominates the weather over country. Very gradually I think we'll start to bring in warmer air, milder air from the Atlantic and from the southwest into this high pressure. So increasingly the weather moves into more of a spring-like type spell between sort of days 7 to 10. This is day 10, Tuesday 20th of April. And again, we're under that big area of high pressure. And I think that would be pretty spring-like by then, with temperatures at least into the mid-teens Celsius. In more extended range, we try to take that high pressure away towards Greenland again. So possibly a few hints right at the very end of dragging something a little bit colder from the north-northeast again. Although it doesn't quite to pull that off, but nevertheless you see how the heights are sort of piling up to Greenland and Iceland yet again, which would mean we would be at risk of a trough low pressure dropping through Scandinavia and potentially anyway pulling the wind back into the north, but all rather inconclusive. It's 2 weeks away, so not really worth worrying about. But GEM looks like that again. High pressure will be building through the country through the next few days, taking control of weather next week, turning us milder by day with sunny spells, but still some quite chilly nights. Moving up towards day 10, again the high pressure in the ascendancy dominating the weather right way up to day 10, just picking up a little bit more of an easterly wind down in the southeast, could drag in more cloud and some cooler temperatures there. So the warmest, sunniest weather with this is perhaps in the north a little bit unusually. Scotland might get the warmest and sunniest weather with that by day 10, whereas England and Wales might be a little bit cooler and cloudier with winds in from the east. And then the ECM looks like that, and again it's all a case of high pressure building up through the course of next week, breaking us out of this cold Arctic spell and turning us into a drier and increasingly more spring-like spell of weather as we move up towards the second half of next week. And then into next weekend, again, the high pressure stays in control of weather just to our west-southwest, protecting us from the rain-bearing areas of low pressure in the Atlantic and pulling in some warmer air into that high pressure from the southwest as well. By day 10, we're still mainly settled, high pressure dominating, perhaps just a hint of lower pressure beginning to move in towards northern and western Scotland. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So today we could see some snow showers across Scotland, maybe an area of rain, sleet and snow through northern England, wintry showers for Northern Ireland, more towards rain in the far south and southeast. But there's definitely a wintry flavour to the weather today. Overnight, most of that wintry stuff will die out and it will become frosty tonight. Meaning to tomorrow, you see that we've got again quite a bit of wintry weather through Scotland down to northern England, into Wales, potentially into some eastern parts of England, maybe coming into the Midlands as well. So wintry potentially is there tomorrow. We'll have a look at that in a little bit more detail in Snow Watch tonight. Then we go through into Monday and next week, and of course we see high pressure taking over, so it turns increasingly dry through next week. And what precipitation there is rain as the temperature is that much higher. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 20th of April. 20 members of the ECM ensembles will have high pressure through the country and going to our northeast, bringing a lot of dry, fine weather at day 10 with those. 18 just here, again, the high pressure centre just to the north of Scotland, a little bit more of an easterly wind perhaps, but still again high pressure in control, so mostly dry and spring-like. And 13 with the high pressure just to our west and the low pressure to our northeast, maybe a little bit more of a northwesterly wind with that one, so that could be a little bit cooler. But most of the options involve high pressure at day 10 on settled weather, and that's the case in 2 weeks time actually. This gets us to the 25th of April. 30 members of the ECM ensembles with a ridge over and just to our west, should be mostly dry, and 21 with a large area of high pressure just to our east northeast, and that will be bringing in a little bit more of an east or southeasterly wind. Again, should be a lot of dry and fine weather with that. So it certainly looks like we're moving into an anticyclonic second half to April, and probably something rather warmer as well. Let's have a look at CFS V2 before we wrap up the video. So these are 500 millibar heights, broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 10th to the 16th of April. The coming week brings low pressure in from the Atlantic combined with northern blocking. It's going to be quite cold and unsettled in the week ahead. But all change as we get through to week 2, because the 17th to the 23rd of April, then high pressure sitting more or less over slightly to the west of the country, so mainly dry, probably not overly warm, because I think we would be bringing in the wind from a northwesterly direction with that, so it's not a particularly warm ridge, but it is, you know, a lot more spring-like than we've had through like the first half of April anyway. And mainly dry as well, so that's quite a nice week. We go through to week 3, which is the 24th to the 30th of April, and again we've got a ridge here through the country, so that would suggest a reasonable amount of dry weather into the last week of April, and probably quite spring-like. And the ridge continues into week 4, which is the 1st through to the 7th of May. High pressure, and is more or less centred over top of the country. I think we'll probably be starting to pull up some quite warm air from the south with that, so maybe turning you know, potentially warm or even very warm into the early part of May with high pressure in control. It's 4 weeks away, so it's a long way off. But the signal is definitely there, I think, that the second half of April will see spring returning. So spring is coming. Got a few more days of cold weather to get out of the way, and then it looks like we'll be on an upwards trend to much more spring-like weather. If you enjoyed the video, then please can you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. If you subscribe, you're going to be able to see future weather content. And tell your friends, family, everybody else to subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for subbing to our channel. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Right, we're going to be back later on with Snow Watch, I think. Probably, I said, we did Snow Watch on Wednesday. I said that would probably be the final Snow Watch of the season. I think this will almost certainly be the last Snow Watch of the season. But we shall see. You never know, as I said, on Wednesday, only the weather gods know what they've got in store for us. And it isn't impossible we can get, like, snow late in April. It has happened a couple of times in 1908 and 1981. This is a colder April as well. So maybe we will get one last blast in the last week of the month, but I think this will probably be the last Snow Watch of the season. That'll be coming up for you this evening. Just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. So of course we'll start off with our 7 AM upload. We'll have a summer update. Going to be starting March data with that. GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup will be live streaming from 6 PM tomorrow evening. Bit of long range in that, of course, as it's a Sunday live stream. And maybe even a little bit for winter 2021-22 from Patal Pay. I shall say no more than that, and we'll see you live tomorrow from 6 o'clock. But don't forget Snow Watch coming up later on this evening. For this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.